Hello everyone and welcome once again to the Rambling Gamers podcast. This week we shall not waste your time with useless introductions because we did that last week. This week we have a very special guest and we call him Dante Zero, who is reminding me right now that I cannot swear once again. And of course, we wouldn't be completed without the lovely Amy, aka A. Parker, on the Trophies on PSN. Yes, once again, I am plugging Trophies on PSN. So, once again, it will be in the description. Say hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello, Trophies on PSN representing fool.
Representing. If you don't go to Trophies on PSN, I'm gonna cap a fool.
Yep, I will.
Watch out, cause he's okay. Let's not go there. This week, well, let's go into that a little bit later. This week, we're starting with the PSN update, since last week we had to wait for that because we already started the podcast. This week, there, of course, is more GTA 5 news, because, you know, I'm the host and I like to talk about GTA. During the Gamescom press conference, there was announced that you can pre-order GTA 5 through the digital store now, and there's a very special little thing with that, is that if you pre-order GTA 5, you will get an exclusive theme, and you will get 75% off every single Rockstar game. That is, whoa, yay, I already have all the games, but thank you. I won't be getting it because I kinda pre-ordered the special edition and collector's edition already, but I'll see if I can get my hands on the team. I reached out to Rockstar, but they haven't replied to me yet, so I hope...
I was just going to cut in there, sorry, I was going to say, Amy, are you with me on this? The price of that on the digital store is stupid. It's like 60 quid.
It's the same with most games on there, isn't it?
Oh no, it's absolutely sad. And do you know what makes me annoyed a little bit about this, announcement from Rockstar during Sony's press conference? I don't even understand why it was, worthy news to actually dedicate time during the conference for it.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, 75% discount on Rockstar's digital content for buying GTA 5 digitally, the game's costing £20 more than it retails for in most shops, and the best they can do is a 75% discount on every game that pretty much retails for less than 15 quid now.
But you get an exclusive theme.
Yeah, but you get a theme when you buy the special edition stuff and all that. And let's be honest, it's GTA 5, man. They could just put that theme up for about 2 quid and everybody'd still buy it.
Yeah.
They're missing a trick with that, and I just think 75% is just a
I think it's
really.
only like in the UK, really, because in the rest of like the world where they use actual normal currencies, it's actually a normal game price.
Yeah, but do you not think it... do you know what? I would have happily settled with Rockstar saying, we'll give you... instead of waiting 2 weeks for GTA Online, for pre-ordering it digitally, you can get access to GTA Online 2 weeks early. That is an incentive. 75% off every game that's been released in the last 10 years from Rockstar. And let's not be around the bush here as well. Not all Rockstar's games are on the PSN stores. Don't ask me to remember which ones are, but not all of them are.
Well,
so then what happens with that?
I don't know, but still.
It just seems
it's a nice thing.
I don't know. I don't think it is. I think it's an offensive gesture, if anything. I might be reading into that a bit too much, but it's not what I would call a nice gesture.
But in the US store, it's a regular retail price, so...
Yeah, so they pay like 20 quid less than we do. That's an incentive for
me. Yeah, but it's America, man.
Yeah, but I'm sure Amy will agree with me on this in that that's an incentive to go and buy and throw money at SCEA as opposed to buying it on the UK store.
Mike, stop complaining. Just buy it at Game or something.
I don't care. I've got the special edition pre-ordered.
I
so...
got the collector's edition and special editions pre-ordered, so get on my level.
I was going to say, hasn't pretty much everyone got it pre-ordered now anyway, less than a month until it's released?
Well, I mean, I've seen someone that was glad that it was coming to the US store because he's living in Brazil or whatever, and they pay like 3 times as much for a retail game, so he was happy with it.
I have to admit, Amy's made a very good point there as well, which is, by now,
of course,
it seems like a bit pointless to do something like this as well, because most people will have their pre-orders for GTA 5 in place anyway. You know, a lot of stores will be doing midnight launches, so, you'd have to, in my humble opinion, it'd have to be pretty stupid to want to pre-order it digitally in Europe.
Well, I just did a quick lookup for the pre-orders in the USA alone. For PS3, it's 663,951, and for the Xbox 360, hold your horses, 831,219, and that is for the week ending in August 10th. So that's still old. That's like 1.4 million pre-orders in the USA alone.
Exactly, so who's going to
want to buy... And that's retail, so I'm like, where you at, Call of Duty Ghost?
So, who wants to pay an extra 20 quid to buy it digitally? Because I don't.
Well, I mean, I think that's the only problem in the UK, I guess, but, you guys are used to getting, can I say screwed over?
Yeah.
Okay, getting used to getting screwed over.
Another thing is, Rockstar always put a lot of effort into their art and everything, don't they? Like, put a massive map in everything and like a tourist guide type thing.
I like Amy.
And I love that, and you're not going to get that with digital nowadays. Yeah. Especially if you pay more and you're not getting all of that as well.
Exactly. I mean, and it's a shame. I kind of expect it from EA and Activision to pursue that that kind of aggressive, overpriced strategy with digital content, but not from Rockstar. I'm sorry, but Rockstar have drastically failed there, even with a 75% discount, because essentially I could spend the £20 on those games that they're offering a discount on if I didn't have to pay the extra £20 for the actual full version of GTA. So
you're saying we have to boycott Rockstar because they're charging 20 more quid on something you can get in a store?
I just think, for those people that do buy it digitally, just bear in mind, and this goes the same for Activision and EA. The more people that buy overpriced digital content, i.e. pay an extra £20, the more it's going to become the norm. And it won't just, it's creeping in Europe. It's been creeping in Europe massively. And don't think that if Activision think they can get away with it in the US and Rockstar and EA think they can get it in the US, don't think it won't creep over there as well.
Yeah. All right. I think that's enough of bashing on Sony for overpricing stuff.
It's not Sony. Sorry, I just want to clarify. Because I have this argument with Sony quite a lot on their PlayStation blog, and it annoys the crap out of me, so I am going to ramble for like a minute just to explain. Right, whenever a publisher does release a new product, overpriced, on the PSN store, the first words out of Sony Europe's mouth is, it's not up to us to set the prices, it's up to the publisher, right? Then the publisher says, it's up to Sony. So then we have a conflict of interest there because, who's right and who's wrong. What should be happening is if EA say, I want to charge £60 for a standard version of FIFA 14, Sony should turn around and refuse, in the interest of their customers, they should refuse to allow them to publish it digitally on the PlayStation platform unless the price is in line with the retail thing. People forget back in the days of Apple and the original iPhones, you used to have this problem between apps not being priced fairly between the different regions and so on. Since Apple has sorted that out, it's caused them to generate a hell of a lot more revenue than they used to and become the behemoth they are now. So, instead of blaming each other for crying out loud, Sony, just set a standard rule and make everybody follow it. Because if you put that in as mandatory, the publishers won't turn around and eventually say, oh, well, we're never going to publish on your platform. Of course they are, because, as we all know, multi-platform games, most multi-platform games, sell more on PS3 than do on any other format.
Right. Welcome to the Rambling Gamer Podcast, where Mike has had a bad day and is ranting a lot.
Oh no, I've had a good day, but I just, I thought I'd put it out there so people know.
We know who you are, Mr. Dante. Right. Then there are also some other overpriced PS3 games, Saints Row 4, XCOM Declassified, Tom Clancy Blacklist, blah 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 blah, you know everything. Then on the PS Vita, The Walking Dead finally releases on the PS Vita after a year. Also the same price as for the PS3, which is kind of ridiculous in my opinion, but Dante has had enough words about that. That was basically for the US store. Then, because you got a bunch of discounts.
In regards to The Walking Dead in Europe, in the US, I did actually ask Sony earlier about a European release date, because I actually did the store update for the site. And one of the things I noticed on there is a lot of the comments responded to by the PlayStation community manager was, I can't see the release date yet for Europe. And I was like, well, surely good community management and good customer services, I can't see the release date, but if you hold on, I'll find out for you. Because essentially, they've got a direct line to Telltale Games. I don't understand the discrepancy between The Walking Dead in US and Walking Dead in Europe. It's weird. Because I was... You what?
Sorry. I was just going to say, I don't see why it would take so long.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's a couple of weeks off, why can't they just say, it's 4 weeks off? So at least they let everybody know, because I'm not being funny, I was willing to chuck money at Sony today for that, and they let us down. I think, certainly the reaction that I've gauged from a lot of people commenting on our article is that people are generally quite upset that the store updates are still continuing to be pretty poor in Europe. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah, I completely agree, Dante. Now, on the European store, there's a PS3 demo for NHL 14. Everyone in this room, in this chat over here, doesn't care about that, so we're moving on.
Actually, I was going to say, you might want to talk to Amy about that, because she loves her hockey.
Oh.
Sorry.
You see how well I know my guest people.
Yeah, I assume you're going to download the demo. Are you going to pick up the full game when that comes out?
Yeah, I always do, and this one looks like it's going to be a lot better, so I'm actually excited for it.
Yeah, that's what they say with Call of Duty as well, but it's always the same crap.
Is it actually getting a retail release in Europe? Because I know a few years back they actually only released it digitally because they weren't sure if people in Europe would actually buy it, and then obviously it took a hiatus for a couple of years and stuff. So, is it actually getting a retail copy as well? Because, coming back to the old price debacle, I saw the price for pre-ordering that on the EU store, and I thought, hell no.
Oh.
So
make it stop, please!
Are you going to get the retail or digital?
Retail. I barely ever buy digital games, unless it's like The Walking Dead or anything.
Oh, that's
I don't buy digital games at all because, well, when I do, they just end up sitting on my hard drive and then oh wait, that game. When with a retail copy, it's, you start up your PS3 and it's like, oh, I was going to play that. It's weird, but here's something Dante will enjoy, Deviant's DLC. Now jump around like a little girl and it makes you happy.
Actually, to be honest with you, one of the games that came out today, which was called Dive Kick, by Iron Galaxy. It's cross-buy, is worth checking out because there was one of the announcements done during the Sony press conference where Iron Galaxy will actually be porting it across. I can't remember what it is. I think it might be Borderlands 2 that Iron Galaxy, the makers of Dive Kick, are actually porting to the Vita. We'll talk a little bit more about that, so I would say a little bit later on, but I would say if you can support those developers, it's $7.99 on the UK store. Dive Kick, it's a 2D sort of fighting cartoon style game. Go check it out, it's a blast.
Right. So far,
Something positive.
shameless plugs by Dante Zero. Moving on. Battlefield 4 has finally revealed when they will be holding their beta, which will be in the beginning of October. The precise data has not yet been announced, but people with a limited edition of Medal of Crap Warfighter will get a beta code, and people with Battlefield Premium. So if you need a beta code, hit me up, because I got both Battlefield Premium and Medal of Crap Warfighter. My God, that game
can I have a
bad.
Battlefield 4? Can I have a Battlefield 4 beta code, please?
Yes, you can. Unfortunately, my beta code has been given away. Please tune in next time. We will be giving away no more beta keys. Anyone here excited for Battlefield 4?
Not really my kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Maybe you're out.
To be honest with you, you know how I feel about Battlefield 3. It's just, you know how I feel about playing online with shooters anyway. I sort of go through phases where I play them for a couple of months and then, I'll sort of slowly phase out. But, if what EA and DICE are saying is going to be the case with Battlefield 4 in terms of that it's not just going to be a case of spread some DLC packs over 2 years or whatever, which is a long time for DLC packs, but the fact they're actually going to support it in real time, on a day-to-day basis, I'm there. I'm all for that, because I just get tired of, people saying, oh, we're going to support our game with this, this and this, and then after about 2 or 3 months it dies, and there goes the community, and it's just a waste of time on their part. So, but that being aside, I mean, just looking at Battlefield 4 and the potential of it, just looks amazing.
Well, Battlefield 3, in my opinion, had great support. The DLC was really good. I enjoyed it. I even have bought Battlefield Premium twice on both consoles.
Fool.
What fool? No, it's worth it.
You should have got the Battlefield Ultimate Edition, and that would have.
Yeah, it wasn't for sale, so that was the problem. But I still don't regret it, because you get so good value for the money. But now with Battlefield 4, once again you get 5 DLC packs. I mean, it's good value. Battlefield Premium is good value, in my opinion.
I will say this,
a lot better than a lot of season passes out there. And then, of course, I look at Black Ops 2.
I will say this, though, looking at Call of Duty Ghosts and Battlefield 4, I've got to say, as impressive and as gorgeous as Battlefield 4 looks, and being able to bring down skyscrapers on people that are sat camping is a great thing to have. But I think for the first time in a long time, this is the first real time that both franchises could potentially be fulfilling the promises they've made, and we may see a real battle for sales, in regards to that.
Nah, Call of Duty Ghosts will probably win again because of the 12-year-olds. I mean, diving real quick into Call of Duty Ghosts review, I mean, it's just like there's not a lot new, and it's just
fish, but there's fish.
Yes,
you can have real fish.
You can also have a dog that works for you, but you can in GTA 5 you can have a Rottweiler that's gonna eat everyone up. I mean, it's so low effort and unimpressive. I mean, we got a leaning feature now, yeah. Fear in 2007. I mean, the list goes on and on. Dedicated servers on Xbox One, probably not going to be ranked. I mean, there are so many. I was watching the thing, right? What I saw was just the Mark Rubin guy.
Yeah.
I looked at him, and he was looking around all the damn time, just like whoop 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 whoop. He was lying.
It pains me to say this, right? Because people know that I have strong feelings against Activision's business practices, but
they lie all the time.
As much as it pains me to say that, Call of Duty Ghosts looks like it will be the first game since Call of Duty 4 to actually be brilliantly good.
I don't think you have heard about the details, because the support package is back, the specialist package is back, all kinds of
Yeah, well, I can live with that. I mean, I like the fact they've taken the death streaks out. The 10-pick system looks good and revamped, and support packages are fine as long as people don't hack the servers and then glitch it left, right, and centre. But you know, those are just minor details. I think the implementation of things like clan versus clan, the mini metagame looks interesting in there with clan versus clan system. So yeah, I completely disagree with you as much as it's punching a hole in my heart right now to do that.
Well, I know, I mean, if I get it for free, then I'll play it, but if I don't, I just, move on with the multiplayer that for me at least is much more interesting.
But just before we move on to another topic that Amy can join us in, because it's not really a cup of tea, we should probably just mention that during the Sony press conference, the Call of Duty Ghosts is actually one of the games that was included, along with Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed 4, I think there's some others that basically, if you buy the PS3 version, you can actually upgrade to the PS4 version. You can buy, well, upgrade's probably the wrong word, but you can get the PS4 version for a heavily discounted price digitally. That sounds fantastic when we find out more details, because we still don't know yet if you buy the retail disc of a PS3 game that's included in that. Will you still get the heavy discount on the PS4 digital version? We don't know. So, but it's worth mentioning it while we're talking about COD Ghost, because a lot of people I know that have been talking about picking it up, going, I'm not going to bother getting COD Ghosts on PS4, and that actually now gives them a real incentive to purchase it on both systems. And Battlefield 4 and Call of Duty will both be able to export your stats across as well. So, there's real incentive there, and I'm glad Sony have thought that out a bit more with their third-party publishers as well.
Saw that with FIFA 14 as well. You're able to transfer things from PS3 to PS4 versions.
Yeah.
Speaking of FIFA 14, you're getting FIFA 14 for free with Xbox One when you're in my country, which is Holland, and have to wait until 2014. I mean, I can name 5 million people who don't want a FIFA 14 for the Xbox One. Those are 5 million people living in the countries who are not getting Xbox One before 2014 that already played it in September.
I don't want to go into a bashing Xbox One, because I think, Xbox...
we'll have another podcast for that.
Well, I was going to say...
The list goes on and on.
I think Microsoft are doing a good enough job of bashing themselves and shooting them in the foot, but do you guys feel that, offering FIFA 14 as a freebie with those that purchase the day one edition is a bit of a desperate plea? I mean, even with all that, it still doesn't seem like it's stopping momentum. I just wonder what you guys think about it.
I don't think FIFA 14 is the good game to be giving away, because me, for example, I don't care about FIFA 14 at all. I mean, Xbox One, Microsoft has these huge exclusives and stuff. I think it will be much cheaper to do a Forza 5 for free with your game. It didn't make any sense to me, really.
Well,
it's basically just a cash grab from EA.
Is Forza 5 actually coming out for Xbox One's launch, or do we know that yet?
It's coming out with launch.
Oh, well then that is strange.
But
not. What do you think, Amy? Do you think it's a good move from Microsoft, or just a desperate plea for help, really?
It's a bit desperate, but I don't think it's really going to sway people who are already set on PS4.
Yeah, I have to admit, that Sony have, before we go into the Gamescom thing, Sony have just absolutely knocked the ball out of the park in terms of getting people excited for the system. And here's the thing, right? The PS4 and the Xbox One are so similar in so many areas that a lot of that kind of has got lost in terms of, fair comparison and
Microsoft
excitement, because Microsoft have not been able to communicate their product properly. You know, when you look at what Sony are doing, I mean, Sony aren't really doing anything that special in terms of marketing the PS4 that they haven't done with other system launches. You know, they have said obviously it's going to be the strongest launch lineup, but with that aside, I mean, all they're doing is playing to the strengths of the system. They're, you know, whenever fans and stuff ask them questions, you know, they're giving fans and people asking clear, concise answers. There's none of this complicated cloud system. There's none of this, you know, it needs to always be online. Now it doesn't. None of this burning your disk onto the hard drive, so you don't need to use the disk, and so on. I wonder if you guys feel the same, that, you know, both systems equally look revolutionary in different ways.
Yeah, but like as a guy that does some studying IT and stuff, the cloud stuff is so incredibly terrible. It is unstable. It doesn't work. It's just how I'm gonna put this nicely. Stupid. I think that's a nice way to say it. It doesn't work.
Well, no,
I mean, of course, it's the future, but you don't do something that is for the future if it's still unstable.
Yeah. No, I'll chip in a minute, Amy. You say your piece, because I don't want to like chip in with another bit just on the cloud stuff.
I haven't really had any experience with cloud storage yet, so I don't really know much about it.
I have at school. It's terrible. Don't use it.
I genuinely think, you know, that Microsoft are onto something with the cloud, but I think they're doing it in a wrong kind of way. You know, let's be honest, as gamers, do we really care that the cloud is adding that extra bit of processing
I just
power
want
to the game?
to play my games on my console and be done with it. I don't care about clouds in the sky. I don't care about clouds in coffee shops. I don't care about any of that stuff. I just want to turn on my console, play GTA 5, and be left alone.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the rest of us who are normal. What I'm saying to you is that Microsoft obviously see potential in the cloud, and let's not forget Sony are as well, because of the things like cloud saves and, you know, storage of videos, music, etc., and you know, the upcoming Gaikai PS3 game streaming service. And, you know, what makes me think that, you know, Microsoft seriously are in disarray here is that, yes, there is potential in the cloud. Anyone on the internet can see the potential of it, but Microsoft are marketing it in such a way to the point of where gamers who don't necessarily care can't get excited about a new feature because it's not even being explained properly. It's not even being shown how it works properly. And I think that's part of the problem. You know, when Sony have talked about cloud gaming, they've kept it very simple and used simple language. It's as simple as, we have cloud saving systems. That means you can upload your save to the cloud. Not, you need to be connected always online so that your system automatically updates and blah, 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 technical jargon, this, that, and the other. Do you see what I mean? It's just, why?
Yeah, my take on it is like, features are okay, but they shouldn't be like you have to use it. It should be a feature that it's there, but you're not supposed to be using it. Like, just, it's there. If you use it, it's okay. If you don't, it's alright too.
If you want to use it, don't bog it down in technical jargon that nobody really cares or gives a crap about.
Yeah, I mean, just like, say for example, the cloud stuff. If you use it, you get a little tutorial when you load it up for the first time. Done.
A bit like the Vita when you get the Vita. I mean, how great is that? When you actually buy a Vita, and I don't know for many people who don't know this, but, you know, Nick will agree with me on this. When you actually buy the Vita, it actually brings up, the first thing it does when you turn the power on is it brings up a video. And the video is basically an idiot-proof guide to how to use the Vita. It then launches you into a app called Welcome Park, which then gets you used to using the Vita.
And it gets you easy trophies.
Well, there's that too, which is an added bonus. But the point is, it's a simple, engaging way to teach somebody about the device.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't get why, certainly if there's all this complicated stuff around Xbox One, why Xbox haven't just gone, right, here's what we'll do to explain it, here's what we'll do to simplify it. We'll actually put a tutorial video together to explain what our system is all about, because God knows the people that they've had speaking for them of late, their representatives and so on, are doing an absolute terrible job of clarifying. On one hand, you've got Xbox Twitter account confirming something, and then a senior management professional denying it, and vice versa. And it just, I don't know. That's the way I see in terms of why the momentum's with Sony. People are getting so confused with the Xbox One, they just don't care anymore. And Sony are not doing anything different, but they are doing everything right.
Yes.
I can't even remember what we were talking about in the first place. We've rambled on with that.
That is why we are called the Rambling Gamer Podcast.
Excellent plug there, buddy. I love it.
Right. Let's move on to some other big news. Of course, being the Rambling Gamer Podcast and I'm being the host, we shall not skip over to some pretty big news in the GTA world, because the achievements have quote-unquote been leaked by our good friends over at Xbox360achievements.org. Have you guys...
I was going to say, do you want to get Amy to tell us and give us a rough idea of some of the things on there? Because she actually wrote an article for us earlier this week, so she's the expert.
Wait, did you really just go there?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, next week, Dante will be removed from the podcast.
Sad panda face. But anyway, yeah, Amy, go ahead and tell us about the achievements.
Well, there's still some that haven't been announced, obviously, because these are meant to be leaked.
Well, no, everything is there. The hidden ones are also there.
Yeah, there's
but they're story related and they're a bit spoilerish.
Yeah, they've got spoilers in.
But it's not like really rough, like, oh, you just killed the dog of the dog of the dog or something.
Nice.
So it's really fake, but...
Or play the game 50 times. Because that just annoyed the crap out of me. I tell you what I did do, though. Having said that, I read Amy's article and, I looked through the achievements list and I thought to myself, some of them look like really interesting trophies and stuff that would be fun to get. But, I mean, come on, level 100 on GTA Online. Was level 25 on GTA 4 not punishment enough, or whatever level it was on that? I mean, how long did it take us, Nick? 2.5 years? for me to get the platinum on that, and how many times do we have to play the coupe? People know my stance on multiplayer trophies. I'm all for it, but don't force me to play the game for thousands of hours. Because that's just crap.
Dante, you have no right to complain. I have got the platinum 4 times. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, but you're a huge fan of the series. I'm just saying.
When I saw this list, I got really excited because I wanted to reach 100% the stuff. I want rank 100. I want really time-consuming stuff because once again we will separate the weak from the real big fellas. So Dante will take 3 years again to get the GTA 5 Platinum, and then end up be like, man, you really gotta help me because GTA 6 is coming out.
I tell you what it does, dude.
The only reason Dante ever got his Platinum is because I said that he had to get his GTA 4 Platinum as number 100.
What I will say is it does bring up the old issue, which we probably address on a Podstation podcast instead.
Shameless plugs!
But it does raise this issue of, if you want people to come back and constantly play your multiplayer component, you should make it the best possible multiplayer component you can have and not base it around trophies. It's one of the things that put people off games like Dark Souls and Demon Souls. It's not that it's not just because the games are hard, but for a majority of people, it's really putting them off. because people don't want to spend thousands of their life trying to grind out a trophy for a game that may start off fun, but after spending hundreds of hours on it, may just turn into a chore. And, I really wish Rockstar would take that on board when they look at sorting out these.
Have you even watched the trailer of the review?
Yes, I know.
You're not. I don't think the rank 100 stuff will even be a problem.
GTA Sims, yay.
Okay, Dante, you're really getting yourself into trouble here.
Yeah. No, I've got to be honest, I do like the idea. Well, the funny thing is, actually, we talked about this on last week's podcast, and you said to me then, if you remember, you were like, what would you expect from, like, GTA Online when it comes out? And I was like, wouldn't it be great if you could have your own apartments and have your friends in your apartments?
Yes, I had the same thing with the other podcast I'm doing on another channel. Most of the people that listen on my channel will know that.
Was that not just some prediction?
No, there was just some guy that said randomly, like, a few weeks before the review, like, wouldn't it be cool if we could have, like, a garage and customize our vehicles and weapons and everything? It's like, nah, man, that ain't gonna happen. Oh,
I'm telling you, 2 weeks' time, GTA Online zombie mode revealed.
Oh my god, not another one.
You know it's going to happen. But anyway, you were saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, of course, Dante is like, no, not another 3 years. And I'm like, yep, thank you. Because, I mean, I'm getting the 360 and the PS3 version. And I'm planning to get them both for 100%. I don't really care. Because, I'm planning to play this at least a full year. But, actually, we started with Amy talking us through this achievement list, and yet we went on rambling. Once again, welcome to the Rambling Gamer Podcast, where we drift off topics with no problem.
That is a shameless plug.
I was going to say, I think the trophies, what we have is that it shows how much vary there is in the gameplay again, which is good. Because you have, one of them is a lot of cheddar where you have to spend like millions of dollars, and then they have a bit of a throwback to San Andreas with gang attacks and everything.
Yeah, and another was spoilerish one, which we shouldn't say, I guess. But
spoiler.
That really blew my mind. Let's just say it's a reference to CJ, and that's what I'm going to leave it at. Because there are probably a lot of people who try to avoid this achievement list because of those spoilers. But there's another nice one that Dante is surely going to enjoy. San Andreas Sightseer and explore all of Los Santos and Blaine County.
Yeah, that'll be easy for me, to be honest.
Yeah,
I'm happy to do that.
Just turn on Kairos and just be like, all my exes live in Texas. Or are you more a Queen guy with Radio Gaga? I mean,
You know me, any 80s music in GTA equals epic exploring.
You ever heard of the song Radar Love by Golden Earring? Well, it's going to be in GTA 5. Just look it up. Top Gear actually named it the best driving song, so that's going to be epic. And it's one of my favorite songs. But
I just want to ask before we move on from the GTA Online achievement, the GTA achievement stuff. Amy, I know you're not particularly an online multiplayer gamer, but I want your take on it as someone that isn't an online gamer. Is the GTA like online reach level 100 off-putting for you personally? Would that stop you actually going for the platinum on it?
No, I think I would try, but I don't think I could ever do it. But I think I am interested in the online aspects because of the you can have your own apartments and, as you said, have your friends over and everything, and like create a life on there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Which is something different.
GTA Sims / Second Life.
Just stop it.
Just adds a bit more depth to the whole thing. So.
No, completely agree. I do think there's a lot of positives to the online side than negatives. I just wish I wasn't forced to.
No.
Well,
play
look at it this way, because Rockstar is still doing triple XP for Red Dead Redemption and Max Payne 3, and as far as I've seen on the Twitter feed, there is going to be another one very soon. So.
Yeah, but I think what I was saying before is that I should want to invest hundreds of hours into the online on the merits of it.
Well, you don't have to.
Well, no, I want the online to be engaging enough for me to want to spend hundreds of hours on it, and not necessarily to earn a trophy.
Don't you think it won't
that's my
then?
point. Well, I don't know yet, because there's still a lot to be revealed, so we shall see.
What do you mean a lot to be reviewed? You can build your own modes. I mean, the possibilities are endless.
But how many times can you build your own moat before it gets boring?
I don't know, I'm not creative, I'll just play the ones other people create.
I'm just putting it out there, do you know what I'm saying?
But Dante, you're a different kind of person. There's always something that you complain about. There's no talking to you.
It's a case of, like, it's a problem across all open world games, and GTA is no different. Is that if after like 6 months you're still repeating effectively the same things over and over again, it does become a put-off. Saints Row with the purple dildo and beating people up's great the first 50 times you do it, but by the time you're sort of getting on to 1,000 times you've done it, you think to yourself, why have I spent all this time doing that? And that's my point, and GTA is no exception to that rule. So, but I, haven't seen everything on GTA Online, and I'm going to make a concerted effort to ignore the achievements and just play the crap out of it.
Likewise, I'm just going to enjoy the game first, and then I mean, once I reach rank 100, I'm like, okay, maybe there are other trophies I need to do.
Prestige.
If there is, I'm doing it.
I know that.
as long as I don't lose my stuff, because there might be very interesting questions, because I have asked this a lot to a lot of people. And how is your plan in GTA Online?
How is my plan?
Yes. How you're going to do it? Like, are you going to buy a plane first, or?
Well, I know for starters that I'm not going to be playing it straight away because it doesn't release till 2 weeks after the game, which is weird.
Yeah, of course, smartass.
But I genuinely don't know. I haven't thought that, but I do want to get a jet though, and just fly.
You do know that it's going to cost like 1.1 million to buy, right?
I don't care. I'll rob your bank account or something. You got enough money.
Right.
We'll have.
Amy, have you got something that makes more sense?
I don't know really, because I don't really play that much online, but I'm definitely going to give it a go, because it just sounds interesting.
And you two should listen to me. You might learn something. Arrogance mode off. What you should do, and what I'm going to do, is burn an arsenal first. Just arm to the teeth, and then rob everyone, and then buy a nice car for the heist, like a 4-seater, and then just spend it on the stuff I really would like, luxury stuff. That's
Have you ever seen those like criminal maps on the like FBI programs and crime shows and stuff where they have like serial killers and like they're all linked up through bits of thread? I get the funny feeling you have one of those in your bedroom for your plan for GTA Online.
It's all in my head. I got everything worked out. Don't you worry, my friend. By the time you're saving up for your jet or whatever, I'll already be killing you over and over again and stealing all your money.
Rest assured, the first target I'm going to hit you with in an F-16 is going to be your Arsenal, so thanks for sharing that with me. So, anyway, we should probably move on from GTA.
No, we shouldn't.
We should definitely move on from GTA.
Okay.
You wanted to talk about some of EA's social games, didn't you? Plants vs. Zombies and Peggle 2.
Yeah, it's coming first to Xbox One, and my take on exclusivity is just like, just make it stop. It's ridiculous.
before we actually started recording this, we talked about it, didn't we? And we said, we were live tweeting the EA press conference because everybody asked us to. My first thoughts with this is, Plants vs Zombies and Peggle 2 are huge franchises for EA. They do rake in a lot of money. I cannot see why they are going to the Xbox One first, because that's surely got to do the games more harm than good. And let's be honest, Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare looks epic. And, by the time it'll eventually come out on PS4, is anyone going to care enough about it? I don't know.
Nope.
It just seems very strange for two franchises that are known on mobile platforms where you can pretty much get it on any device, whether it be an Apple iPad, an Android iPhone, etc., etc. And then as soon as it comes onto console, it's like, okay, we have a fan base and we're going to alienate half of them by making it exclusive. It's different if you're, say, launching a new IP or there's a set indie game that is coming to the platform first, because people haven't necessarily experienced those games or franchises before. But we're talking about two things here that are well known and well established.
Yeah, but then there's another thing, right, where the Xbox One is coming out on, in, for example, the Netherlands, etc., in 2014. So, not making a lot of sense there.
No. Very strange decisions, but I have to say, I will put in a plug for this, but if you're not excited by Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare, you need shooting with a plant, because quite frankly it looks like a hell of a lot of fun. And I do like the whole being able to play as a zombie, and the kind of, what was the other game that was similar to it? Like the Gotham City Imposters type feel to it, but with the Plants vs Zombies franchise. And I think it's going to be great when it eventually does come to PS4, which probably won't be until about 3 years from now, so.
Now, more shameless plugging and less discussion. The Rambling Gamer Podcast.
We need to make that into a jingle or something.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do. It won't happen. But,
thoughts though? Are you bothered, not bothered?
I'll see how far I'm addicted to GTA 5 when it comes out. That's basically my standard answer from now on. It's really, But, Amy, excited for Plants vs Zombies or Peggle 2?
Yeah, I love anything with zombies in, so it's probably checking out when it eventually comes out.
GTA 5 with zombies. Anyway,
Dante, you're fired.
We should probably wrap this up just with a final look at Gamescom and some of the things there. I tell you, for me personally, the highlights of Gamescom is just the amount of Vita support. For something that was touted as the big PS4 launch date reveal, and it's all going to be about PS4, I was so surprised that even though there's stuff that I'd already seen and stuff that I hadn't, the Vita was at the forefront of everything that Sony talked about in that press conference. And I think the price drop's obviously a huge one as well. I don't know, what were your highlights so far?
Well, ladies first, I guess.
Well, I just think that, even today I've written 3 articles on 3 different Vita games, so I think that it's good that they're putting more effort into it now and realising that people want better games, more variation.
And regular as well, because I think that's been the problem with the Vita in its first sort of year and a half. It's like, yes, we know there are Vita games, and some of them are fantastic and some of them are pretty rubbish, but, when you release a big game every 2 months, that's not enough. That's not enough to generate interest.
Vita needs more AAA titles, man. A Borderlands 2 coming to the Vita is something I'm excited about, but then again, it's like, well, you could have played the game for like a year on your PS3.
Yeah, but come on, 4-player co-op on the go just sells it for me instantly.
Yeah, but come on, man. I mean, every DLC bit, everything is already on your console. I mean, of course, it's cool, but it's...
Yeah, but I think with something like
I'd rather have
Borderlands,
something like a Killzone Mercenary or like New Games or Gravity Rush. Where are the games like Gravity Rush and Uncharted and all that stuff? Nobody is developing games for the thing because it doesn't sell. The only thing that's on the PS Vita at the moment are indie games. Well,
I
of course,
totally disagree. I think there are a lot of AAA titles. You've got Borderlands 2, but you're talking about, not necessarily ports, but dedicated AAA games, and there are. I mean, look at Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate. That's an original, brand new IP.
Well, about time.
There's still not we know there's that recent Japanese JRPG, the Panopticon. I can't remember I think it was called Freedom Wars, that was announced. There's like a bunch of free-to-play games that are coming to the Vita that are developed by first party, and then from the variety side of things, there's things like PS Vita Pets, which may not necessarily appeal to the macro audience, but it's nice to have that diversity. You know what I'm saying? So that
come on, man. PS Vita Pets. What is this really what we need on the PS Vita?
Yes,
Nintendo. It sold very well. Let's bring it to the PS Vita. I
think it is. I think it needs more diversity.
Right. So you're telling me that you're gonna sit at Starbucks, pretending to have a dog, and well, the fat guy next to you is like, "What the hell are you doing?" I mean,
dude, I'm not going to be sat in Starbucks. I'm going to have it imported because I'm going to be too busy streaming games onto my PS Vita from my PS4. So, yeah.
Yeah, more shameless plugs.
No, I mean, it comes back to this, PS Vita being the forefront of everything. I get the complaint with the needing more unique AAA titles, but, there are some in the work. The indie games that are coming do look great. There's no denying that.
I mean, indie games, they're like, what, you beat them in 4 hours and you're done with it.
Not always. You've obviously never played a Football Manager game before because that will suck, years of your life away. But and the same could be said for Borderlands. You're not going to beat that in 4 hours.
But it's support.
Once again,
support. It's not like.
Dude, it took me 10 hours to beat Hotline Miami. And then some, and I still ain't done everything on it. So, and the fact that it's
support. Once again, that's support. The rest. I mean,
it's a PC port. Don't get facetious.
But it's still a port.
Yeah, but it's a great port.
Yeah, of course. I mean, there are other games that are a great port, but it's just like there should be more original game. Of course, you got the indie games, but like I said, you beat them in 4 hours, most of them, and then you're done with it.
Amy, help me out here. The more Vita games that come out, regardless of whether AAA or indie, the better it is. And then you tie in something like the remote play functionality. I mean, that demo of Assassin's Creed 4 running on the PS Vita
was fake.
It wasn't fake.
Oh man, look at the screen. When the guy dropped the controller, the screen was still going.
Yeah, because there'd probably be a delay or latency.
Mm-hmm.
Camera zoomed
Go away, Dante. Don't try to defend something that's fake. Don't make a fool of yourself.
Well, I happen to know the remote play feature works quite nicely. I've actually used it on PS3 with God of War HD and Shadow of Ico Colossus. So, with the processing power that PS4 has, it's completely believable and doable.
Yeah, it's completely believable, but if it looks fake to me, then I say it's fake.
I think what was the other thing they said as well with that? That it was actually being powered by Gaikai as well, which is interesting, but we didn't really get any more info on that. Which is a shame. So, arguments aside, obviously we're all in favour of seeing more stuff on the Vita, that's right, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, okay. Then I'd like to touch on the press conferences themselves, which I can be very short about. I have got some well-deserved sleep back. My God, that stuff was so boring. I mean, EA going off, we got stuff that we already talked about during E3, so here it is again.
Here's a FIFA 14 trailer that we showed at E3 running on PlayStation 3 and Xbox One, but this time it's new because it has Patrick Stewart doing the voiceover. Yay, us!
Yeah. Some people said it was like Gandalf or something, talking over it or whatever. Or
No, it's the dude from you know, like Star Trek and like American Dad. You know, the guy that does that runs the CIA in American Dad. It's him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't watch that much TV, so.
Anyway, talking about press conferences, I will just say, you know,
It was boring.
I'm excited about the content that Sony announced. They showed off. All the content was great, but my God, do they need to improve their production values in Europe? You sit there watching the PS4 gameplay, you think, yeah, that looks fantastic. Oh,
zoom in on his big nose.
a wide screen features the arena. Wow, that's amazing.
Look, people, there are actually people watching the trailer on the screen, but what you're watching on your screen. Yo, dog, I heard you like to see a screen on your screen.
Did you you watched the playback of this, Amy? I think did you get treated to the widescreen stuff, or?
I still haven't had a chance to watch it. I've been too busy.
Oh, thank God you haven't. It was
just look up the trailer. She really don't want to see it. It's painful.
What was I going to say? The guy that actually came on stage for Sony Europe, I've got to admit, I wish they would have someone that's a bit more enthusiastic, because I don't even know who that guy is, and do you know what? I don't even really care. Can we not get Jack Tretton to come to Europe and do the promotions? Because Jack Tretton's a legend.
Yeah, but
and
like the guy...
shows enthusiasm behind it. So like, the other guy just looked exactly as it was, just reading it off an auto cue.
Yeah,
that whole Ubisoft thing.
The guy with the glasses, right? It's like he was reading a bedtime story or something. And here we got the PS4. And like, no. Just no.
Shut up, I love Mark Cerny. He's awesome. I could just listen to his voice all day. Do you not find the same, Amy? You could literally just listen to his voice all day and not...
Amy is a woman.
Yeah, but even as a man, I have much bro love for that dude, because he seriously makes things that shouldn't be interesting actually really interesting and dreamy. It's like, you know, if you ever wanted anybody to read you a bedtime story and tuck you up at night, that's the dude that you want doing it.
Nah.
Of course you do.
I'll just cry myself to sleep. But moving on.
Nothing unusual there then.
Okay, I got something else to cry about tonight. But
should probably wrap this up.
Yeah, before we go into too much detail about the press conference being awful and the production value of all that stuff, you know. But I gotta say, one positive thing about the EA press conference is that they really were good at trying to imitate Ubisoft. With their alternative switching off sentences every sentence they said. Hi, how are you doing? Yeah, I'm doing fine. Well, that's great. Yes, that's great indeed. I mean, come on, man. Ubisoft is terrible at press conferences. Don't copy them.
Yeah, no, EA
over enthusiastic stuff and shit. It's like, I'm glad they didn't, like, we got Peggle 2 instead of the, how I'm gonna, you know, interesting person that announced Peggle 2 back in E3, like, Peggle 2, yay! And like, no.
Yeah, I gotta admit, the UFC stuff is like, you had that amazingly grand intro. And
man, I was like, get him off stage, just give him his money and get off stage, please, go away, please.
You know, you have this grand intro, and I can kind of get it, but I just wish they wouldn't do that at every press conference. But on top of all that, you know, the guy comes out and says every time, everybody knows about my love for UFC. It's like, dude, this is like the 30th time this year you've told us, you know. And on top of all that, the people that talk about UFC as well, you know, it's completely staged. You know, I mean, obviously it's a press conference, but there's having something staged with some quality, and then there's staging something where everybody looks just awkward and wooden, much like in the Sony press conference when Ubisoft announced the tie-up between Sony Pictures and Ubisoft for the Watch Dogs movie. It was like, why can't you just put that on the big screen?
Oh,
Watch Dogs
man,
movie
those
coming 2015.
movies, man. Why are you still making movies of games? I don't get it. They're always crap.
Yeah.
Well, me and Amy talked about this the other day, and it was just like, we do want to see video game movies. There's no denying this.
Yeah.
But, for the love of God, if you're going to employ a writer on them, don't sack them every 6 weeks, because then nothing will get done.
Yeah, but, I mean, dude,
As long as
how are you
what's
going
his
to
name?
make
Hugh
a
isn't
movie
directing it.
of an interactive movie?
Well, with Watch Dogs, there's a lot of interesting content. In fact, Watch Dogs actually reminds me of a TV show. Was it? I can't remember what it is now, but it reminds me of that.
Assassin's Creed in the future.
No. It's to do with spy networks and stuff. I won't go into it and bore people because we do need to wrap this up. But I don't know. I'm in favour of them doing it. I just wish, rather than sitting there talking about it and producing rumours every 5 minutes, feel free to chip in here, Amy. But rather than produce, rumours every 5 minutes, can they just not get the thing out the door? If it's crap, it's crap. They'll learn from it and they can move on from it. But get it out the door.
I also think the problem is that they don't get someone who, they just think if they hire the best writer, it'll turn out good. You need someone who knows the games inside out, really, don't you? So they can bring that essence of the game to the film, which just doesn't happen.
Yeah, I don't get the reluctancy from, okay, so if Sony Pictures are going to bankroll something, why won't they just let, the game director work with, Ubisoft's designated movie projects producer or whatever, and let them do it their way? Because, it would just work and things would get done.
Yeah, I think they need to work together more.
Yeah.
To make it the same.
Yeah, and until we see that, I mean, with the exception of the Ratchet and Clank movie, which is coming, 2015, I can't see any of these video game movies being made anytime soon.
On the other side, I think, as Nick said, with games becoming a lot more interactive now, and so much more amazing graphics and everything visually, it is like watching a movie, so sometimes there's no need anymore, really, to make a proper film out of it.
I guess it depends on the one that you choose. I think Assassin's Creed is just perfect movie fodder.
Yeah.
But then, you wouldn't necessarily want to make a GTA movie because that is an interactive, immersive world, and it's not that I don't want to see a GTA movie, it's just it doesn't seem to fit.
A lot of people tried to do it on YouTube, they all failed. Except for one. I've seen a live-action one where it was really well done, but you should look. It's called Three Wise Monkeys. You should look it up. It's really good.
But I mean, if Volition and Deep Silver came out and said we want to do a Saints Row movie, I'd be like, oh hell no.
Yeah, they also want to make a good game, but they failed a lot with that.
Yeah, I was going to say, get your games right, then get the sales and the fan base, then think about the movie. And maybe we'll talk. But until then, no, please no, God no. So yeah, we should probably wrap this up.
Yeah, we should wrap this up after saying five times that we're going to wrap this up.
We should probably just apologise. Just note, people, that we are aiming to have these shows on run for an hour. Obviously, we're still working out some of the kinks with certain things, so do bear with us as we try and get it down to that hour mark, because it's a lot harder than most people might think.
Well, I mean, the more Dante Zero, the better, right?
God, no.
I was going to say that.
Who wants to listen to that idiot? Not me.
I mean, it's better than GTA Man 07.
Who?
I mean, GTA Man 07. Never heard of that asshole? Oops.
Yeah, oops. Anyway.
This is the point where I start swearing and we should stop.
Yes.
This has been the Trophies on PSN collaboration thingy with the Liberty Lunatic, with Dante Zero, with Amy, and Gaming Unraveled even. Even gaming on Revolt was a part of this, although it has nothing to do with the Rambling Gamer podcast. Anyway, this has been the Rambling Gamers podcast, and I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to visit TrophiesonPSN.com and all the links down in the description, because there are simply way too many plugs. I hope you enjoyed, and if my lovely guests will say goodbye, then we shall leave our friends out of this misery.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
This has been the Gaming Podcast Rambling. Oh man, I just screwed it up. Damn!
Can't even end it right. It's been the Rambling Gamer. Thanks for joining us.
Alright. This has been the Rambling Gamers, where I messed up the outro. Goodbye.